Hey everyone! Welcome to our second developer commentary for our game, Minigunner. We are a two-man team, and we've come a super long way since we started on it in October of 2020. Our game is a fast-paced, twin-stick shooter roguelike, where you collect items, sentries, and drones to build a defense against ever-increasing waves of enemies. Minigunner started off extremely simple. You were locked in a square room, and enemies would spawn in every direction and just move directly towards you. You'd mow them down with your weapon and could spend the money they drop on upgrades to your character. And you'd try to last as long as you could, as the hordes of enemies kept getting harder and harder. This prototype game was super simple, but we found ourselves really having fun, so we just kept adding to it. We started with a proper shop to buy more upgrades, then new types of enemies, an objective to defend, a dodge roll, new abilities, bosses to fight. Fast forward 5 years, and it's grown into the most fun roguelike game we've ever played. This game now has a huge variety of enemies, with unique attacks, items that upgrade your character in some pretty creative ways, and a sprawling map that dynamically changes throughout your playthrough. Which leads us nicely into discussing what the gameplay of Minigunner actually looks like. Your primary objective is to protect your reactor from waves of hostile little slimes called gloops that emerge from the entrances to the mines below. Enemies aren't that dangerous when they're alone. Their attacks are all telegraphed and are usually very simple to avoid. Of course, they aren't isolated for very long, as more and more continue to pour in. Each wave is harder than the last. When you successfully defend against a wave, you'll get a chance to visit a shop terminal that lets you heal up lost health and, more importantly, buy power-ups and upgrades in the form of items. Our single favorite aspect of games in the roguelike genre is the fantasy of putting together a combination of items that are so powerful that you can just start wiping entire screens of enemies with every attack. There is nothing more satisfying than approaching an enemy that gave you so much trouble at the start of the game and just obliterating it without a second thought. And there are so many ways to do that in our game. But before I can tell you more about that, we need to talk about our cast of hired guns, the mercenaries. We currently have a roster of 4 playable mercenaries that each have unique weapons, abilities, and passives that give them wildly different playstyles. We've put a lot of thought and care into each mercenary's kit to give them a lot of interesting depth. You can unleash an unending hail of bullets as the minigunner, fight alongside your loyal mini-sentry as the engineer, set up an explosive chain reaction with the drill miner, and master a military-grade arsenal as the commando. They've all been designed to be easy to pick up and jump into the action with. But the more you play them, the more awesome things you find that you can pull off. And this only gets better with the addition of class items. Hands down, one of the most exciting aspects about our entire game is the special selection of mercenary-specific upgrades that you can find. Each mercenary has items that are unique just to them, which are carefully tailored to augment their individual gameplay in crazy ways. Gain triple shots for your minigun, active homing rockets for your rocket launcher, supercharge your sentries as an engineer, and so much more. We've made so many of these special items for each character, and the combinations you can make with them are some of the most fun we've ever had. Another staple of our game is the inclusion of our beloved companions in the form of sentries and drones. You can buy them at shops and find that they come in many shapes and sizes. Set them up at strategic locations around the map, and keep them on the move as enemies try to find different paths to reach your reactor. And the map itself also plays a big role in your defense, with many tools that you can use to gain the advantage. You can relocate your sentries quickly with the use of teleporters, stop enemies in their tracks by raising the drawbridge, sneak around the map with a series of ventilation shafts, And look out for the high-speed freight trains that can pass through the outpost. The map is always changing throughout your run, so you've got to be ready to adapt if you want to make it out in one piece. From the very beginning, we wanted your runs to be under the control of your choices. Player agency is king in Minigunner, and we've given you so many ways to influence your item build. Each shop always presents you with multiple items to choose from, and periodically, you can visit underground rooms that let you trade and exchange your items, money, and health to fine-tune your builds even further. You can even find quite a few minigames that test your skills in exchange for some epic rewards. But sometimes you'll find yourself in a situation where an item is just too expensive for you to buy. It's never fun to have to pass on a super strong or rare item, and we want you to always have a chance at that big boost in power. So, we added one of our favorite features, the random item purchase, which has an equal chance to yield any of the items for sale. Weigh your odds carefully and you can find yourself walking away with a game-changing legendary item. Our game is still very much in active development, and we've got a lot of exciting big plans coming up. So, if you like what you saw, check out Minigunner on Steam, and join our Discord server to get to chat with us and follow the game's progress. Thank you so much for watching.